guys, it's Emily from Nobel Novels, and today's video is Inspirational Women, Fact and Fiction. Now, it was Mother's Day yesterday, and in honour of inspirational women, I thought I would do this video. Now, before I talk about the books and the people in books, I want to talk about the most important and factual women, inspirational women in my life, and they are my mum and my two nans. Now, I've already told my mum I'm recording this, so she's not one of these people who likes admiration. She doesn't want it. She doesn't like to be told how amazing she is, but she is. I think at a time like this, when we're all feeling very anxious, very low, a lot of people are really struggling, I think it's the time when we need to look at inspirational women and see what they've done and let them inspire us to get through this. Because it's important, we will get through it all. Sometimes it's good to look back or think about other people's battles and realise that if they can do it, we can. My mum has overcome so much in her life. She was dyslexic. I'm not going to really go into too much detail because it's not fair on her. But she's had a hard time. She was one of 8 children. I'm blessed with amazing aunts and uncles, which I know some of them watch my videos. Love you all. She has had to fight. She's had to fight hard over her life. She's looked after 4 great children. She's been a mum, an extra mum to so many of my friends. She looks after people. She's amazing. She will give to everybody and she will fight for the people she loves. And I personally think she's amazing. Now I want to quickly talk about my 2 nans. Now we've got my mum's mum, who to me, literally, when she was alive, I still now wish she was here. When she died about over 11 years ago, God, 11, 12 years ago, I don't even know. But it feels like there was a big hole in my life. But growing up, she was the one. She had 8 children. She was one of a big family. She was born in London, a Londoner. And she had a strength that like nothing I'd ever imagined. She really did fight for all of us and fight for her grandchildren. She got extra grandchildren, she got extra people that she would bring people into her home and look after them. She didn't care if you weren't blood, if you were her family, that was it. She would look after you. She would listen to all of us at the end of a phone. When my mum and dad went on holidays and when I was older and I stayed at home, I knew that she was at the other end of the phone and she was there for us. She was there for me. She had a strength like nothing else. She was a fiery redhead, didn't take any crap, didn't take any rubbish, and she stood up for the people she loved, and I can't describe to you how much I loved her. She was and always will be my inspiration, my rock, my guide. She had to approve of Chris, because otherwise I don't think I would have stayed with him. He didn't realise at the time when they met, I was so scared, because I knew that if she didn't like him, then I didn't know. She never got it wrong on a bloke before. Never got it wrong on men. She knew me better than I knew myself, and she said we were meant to be. So yeah, I owe her a lot of trouble there. Sometimes I think, oh cripes, what are we going through? But yeah, she was amazing. And then they would like to talk about my dad's mum. I didn't have a great relationship with her growing up. She was seemed very prim and proper. When we went over there, we were told to go in the spare room. As children, we weren't close, and I didn't know her. I judged her. I felt angry at her. When my mum's mum died before my dad's mum, I got so angry at my nan because why was she alive and the other one wasn't? And I was horrible. I was not a nice person, not proud of who I was. And I took a while to grieve, and even though my dad had died and I should have really been there for my dad's mum, I wasn't great. It was only when my dad died that I then had a chance to... I felt as my responsibility as being the eldest in my family and my eldest granddaughter in the whole family on that side, that I should look after my nan. Me and Chris went to see her regularly. I took a lot of responsibility, but you know what? I thank God so much for that time, because I got to know my nan and I got to know a lot more. I didn't realise half the battles she faced growing up. I didn't realise that half of the rubbish she had to put up with. She was again part of a big family, and down there, I thought down in the Sussex area where she had it easy, and she didn't. She had it so much harder. And that tough exterior that she had with us was her strength. It was her, and it was what she had to do to get through. And when I got to know her as an adult, I realised that she was an inspiration, and she always will be. And I loved her. She died about a year and a half, just over a year ago, and it killed me. She ended up having dementia, and losing her mentally was such a rock, and it broke me. She got to meet my daughter, but she didn't get to meet Thomas, and that again in itself, I talked about him all the time, but it was hard. But those ladies are what made me who I am. And now I'm going to share to you some books in some other women that we should all look to, that should inspire us. Now, you guys know the first one I'm going to speak about is Emmeline Pankhurst. You guys know that I've got a thing with the suffragettes. My great nan was a suffragette. My great nan was a child and went on the suffragette marches with her mum. So having that bond, having that connection with Emmeline Pankhurst as a suffragette, Emmeline Pankhurst fought for us women to get the right to vote. The suffragette era was a time when women got to stand up for what they wanted in the world, and they got to stay. And they went through some of the books I've read recently, both factual and fiction, have shown me some of the battles, some of the things that they went through in prison, some of the tortures they went through. And yet they did that, and they fought for us, and yet some of us still don't vote. We don't stand up for what we do, and this is something that I'm drumming into Mia. I will talk to my niece about, I will talk to all of my next generation about, and I will shout about, that we need to stand up for ourselves, that us women have to fight for our rights, and we need to celebrate each other and bond. Yes, I'm not decrying men, I'm not putting anything down. I love my husband, I love my partner, I love all my booktube male friends on here, you know, but right now, if we need to, that's to me why I stand up for women, what we fought for. I also have learnt though that it wasn't just women that didn't have the right to vote, it was lower class men that didn't, it was other people, so something to think about. But yeah, I want to show you a book that I picked up recently. It's not going to be in a book haul because I'm not going to do too many more haul videos, but I picked this up. It was I'd liked Margaret Dickinson work, and to have this book with a suffragette girl, and that, this is really inspirational, so I want to show you that. Then I would like to obviously talk about Florence Nightingale. She was one of the big nurses that again fought for women in nursing. She looked after people. She had a heart of gold. I really think we all should remember her. Then we've got obviously Marie Curie, who found a scientist, with female scientists, one of the ones that found an amazing thing. Don't ask me details on that, I'm useless. But she was another inspirational woman. Now to me, this is the next lady I want to show to you is one that's of our modern times. And she's someone like, this is her second book, basically. I need to find the first one before I read this one. But Katie Piper is a lady that I don't know how many of you have heard about. Certainly the British people would have heard about it. She had a brutal rape and an acid attack that left her permanently disfigured. She's rebuilt her life. She's now got 2 children. She's fought back. She's been in the public because she was burnt and broken, but she rebuilt herself. To me, that speaks a lot. She didn't let her scars define her. I've got scars. I'm going to show you some scars on there. My knee, and now I've got 2 extra ones because of my operations, which I don't like. She has inspired me to keep going, and that I shouldn't let what I consider my physical scars define who I am. And she's a lady that we all need to look for, that she has had so much battle since this attack. So much, and she has fought for women. She's done charity work for women. She has done so much, and she's rebuilt herself. She fought against the odds, and now she's a mum. She's got kids. I can't wait to read this book. I need to fight for more. She's done things that people said she couldn't, and I admire her. So get her books, by the way, guys. I'm going to look for her first one, but because I've been told this is the second. Typical me getting the second without the first, hey. So now I'm going to talk about females in books that have inspired me. Characters, ladies that have stood out to me, both recently and past ones. They're a bit of different genres books. The first one is the one that I'm reading. There's a lady in here. This Wild Swans book is set in Japan, and it's basically got the story of 2 women. 2 daughters of China and 3 daughters of China. So the first one is effectively the last one's grandma. I am currently on, you can see where I'm reading at the moment. I'm reading this book with Charlie, my sister. And to me, out of all of them, at the moment, it's the grandmother that is really standing out to me. She's the first wild swan, I believe. And she was a daughter of China. She had it really tough. I'm not going to tell you too much about the book because obviously but she had it hard. She ended up marrying someone, the stepmother. She married someone that wasn't the father of her daughter, and how she took her daughter away from the father because she believed it was like a dodgy area. She fought for her daughter so much. And the more I read about the books, she fights for her daughter in so many battles against her daughter's husband, against her daughter's stepfather, against people that give her daughter gyp. She is like the feistiest woman ever. And she fights out against prejudice. She doesn't want an arranged marriage. She fights against that, which was something that happened so much. So many women got told who they were going to marry, and she fought against that. And she fought for her daughter, and I love the mother. And I love the fact she also fights for her grandchildren, and she fights for Heidi. And her strength amazes me. She goes through so many battles in this book, and I love it. I love the fact that she puts her daughter and her grandchildren above everything. And she fights so hard for them, even against all the odds, and I think that's amazing. So I love that lady. Please, Charlie, remind me of her name, because I can't remember if she's Wild Swan or which one. I know the last lady's the second Wild Swan, but don't ask me names. You guys know how protective I am. Now I'm going to talk about some of the women in classics that have inspired me. And the first one I want to talk about is Emma. She is not a mother in this book, but she's still inspirational because Emma Woodhouse is clever, rich. She's a bit dappy, doesn't always do things right, but she has the best intentions at heart, and that is something I love. I love the fact that she doesn't let rubbish, she doesn't like the fact she hasn't got a mum knock her down. She's clever, she's rich, she's comfortable, and she does meddle a lot, but she has so much best intentions, and she fights for her friends, and to me, she's inspiring because she's, again, literally why I love her. I love her character. I love the flightiness of her. I think she's funny. But she's got the best heart, and I really like that about Emma. So that's not really one I'm going to talk about too much, but she is someone that, out of Jane Austen's characters, she's the feisty protagonist, I would say, that I like about her. Now, I want to show you Little Women. You guys know I've just read the Little Women books. But to me, Marmee in this book is someone that is a mother. So obviously on honour of Mother's Day, she had to be someone that I spoke about. The way she loves her 4 daughters, the individual love she has for each of them. Being one of 4 children, 3 daughters, my mum was very keen, she's very good at sharing the love, and she still to this day has to split herself between all of us, and she does it in such a way. But Marmee is someone that really does that. She understands that her 4 daughters are very different, but the love she has for them is amazing. The fact she gives out to other people is lovely. Marmee is someone that really, to me, is inspiring. She's strong. She's just got the biggest heart, and I love that. But going on to the later books, out of all of the girls, I have to say that I love Jo. I love Jo. Because Jo has, I'm not going to tell you what, she ends up having kids of her own, but she looks after other people's children in some of the other books. And I love that strength. I love the giving to other people. I would love to say that I've got my sister's children, my niece and nephew. Then I've got my surrogate sister Helen's 2 daughters who I love like nieces. I've got my friend Emma's little boy Dexter who I love. One of my best friends, Tracy's daughter Ava, who I adore. And I love having other children in my house. I love giving my love. I love to have an open house, and I think that's something that these books really encourage, and I really love that. So I had to say about Marmee. Now, on another feisty note, I have to talk about Jane Eyre. I can't talk about a book without this lady, Jane Eyre. The lead character in this book, Jane Eyre, literally, she's come from nothing, but she's hungry for everything. But she fights for what she believes in. She doesn't let the crap that she gets thrown at her knock her down. She gets herself up, she builds herself up, she goes through hell, but she builds herself up, and to me that kind of strength is inspiring. Things that happened in this book, it's just, oh my goodness, there are some bits that break you, but Jane's strength is amazing, which is why this is one of my favourite books ever. Oh, I just loved it. Loved the love for her, Jane and Rochester, Mr. Rochester. I loved it. Had to speak about Jane there. I think she really does come under her strength of character is just amazing, and that I had to talk about. I know I keep saying it. Now I want to talk about my last of the classics books that I want to talk about is not Anne of Green Gables, because obviously in this book she's a girl, but the lady in this is Mariella. I can probably not said this wrong. Please, guys, correct me. Kate, if you're watching this, or Megan, you're probably going to correct me on this. But, or Tia, who reads on, but to me, Mariella is amazing. She adopts Anne, and the love she has for Anne, the way she shows it, it shows that you do not have to be a mother by blood to love your children and to love to love anyone. The way she loves Anne and what she does for Anne and the way she brings Anne up, and it's just amazing. I love the fact that she doesn't have to be this all cuddly, kissy. You don't have to be all like that. But you have to fight for your children. And she fights for Anne. And she shows Anne what's right and wrong. She's got the best moral compass. And I just loved her. I absolutely loved her. And I love in the other books when she's got 2 extra children which come into their lives. Which I don't want to sneaky peek on some of the other books coming up. But the love she shows for them is amazing still. You don't have to, she proves that you don't have to be blood again to stick up for your children. And I loved her. She's one of the best mother figures, I think, in all the books in me. But I will tell you the last, my ultimate mother that I love. And now, again, another lady that's not a mum, but it was Florrie in this book here. So the lead character in this book is Matty Simpkins. I've spoken about this book a lot. It was in my top 10 books of last year. It's a brilliant book. But it's not Matty that, to me, is the strong lady, the inspirational lady. It's her almost servant, Florrie, who, to me, inspired me. Because she took other girls under her wing in this book. And she showed that, again, you do not have to be big and demonstrative and shout out loud to be supportive. And the way she supports the girls, the way she sees beyond the surface and the battles she has, she's not a frontline person. But she was background, and she did so much good stuff in this book. And this was in the suffragette era, set in the suffragette era. And Lisa Evans has done such an amazing job with this book. And it's actually, to me, the side character that rules the roost. And I loved her. Now, lastly, I couldn't do a book on inspirational women without talking about my favourite mum in this book. And this book is the one that shows the lady in her best. And that is, obviously, got to be Molly Weasley. She is one of my favourite mums in books, full stop, because she is not just a lovely mum to her own children, she effectively adopts Harry, and the love she shows for Harry and her own children, she doesn't, just because Harry is not her blood, she still loves him, and her love for her and the fight she has for Harry and for all her children, no matter what, she loves them. No matter what they do wrong, she loves them. She loves the naughty twins. She loves Ginny, her only girl. She loves Ron, the sort of Harry's sidekick almost. She loves her good for the posh bit. She loves Bill differently. Bill's like the ragged son, and she's got Charlie, the one that works for dragons. Then she's got Percy, the prim and proper. And no matter what Percy does, she loves him. And even when he leaves and it breaks her heart, she loves him, and she loves him for who she is. She loves her twins. The bit when she loses one of her twins at the end, spoiler, you know I'm going to have to give that, but I loved her. She is one of the ladies, and the battle she has with Bellatrix at the end is one of my favourite scenes ever. And there is a line that she comes out, and she says, "Stay away from my daughter." And that line, I've probably not got it, but that bit where she stands up for Ginny, oh my God. I just loved it. I absolutely love Molly Weasley. And I love my Harry Potter books. Couldn't do an inspirational women books without talking about Molly Weasley. Oh, and on that note, I do also think that we need to shout out for J.K. Rowling, because she's another inspirational woman. Because she wrote these books, being a single mum. She went from the rock bottom to build these books up. She's built all of the Harry Potter series. She's written, I believe she does the screenplays for the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And then she's also gone on the other route and then gone down as Robert Galbraith and done the thrillers. So I think she really needs to be shouted out about, because, yeah, she had it hard and she's really built herself up. She's done quite well for herself out of it all, but she had to build herself up from nothing and to fight for getting these books published. So you can't end on a high, end on J.K. Rowling. And what I want to say to you is, at a time like this, when we are all struggling, I think, look to our inspirational women. Don't give up. Don't let rubbish bring you down, talk to people. The biggest thing I want to say right now is talk to the people you love. Do not let your anxieties or your problems beat you. You are never alone. I am at the end of the Instagram. You guys know you can find me on Novel Novels on Instagram, on Twitter. Look for me. Comment below. If you need me, I am here for you. If we support each other, like the Inspirational Women did, if we look to our inspiration, if we look to each other at a time like this, we will get through it. But we can only do it. You cannot do it alone. You need to talk, and you need to reach out. Please, guys, at a time like this, don't feel you're alone. I'm there if you need me. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, and we will get through this. And I hope this video helps. I hope you look for inspirational women and let them guide you at a time when you need it the most. And I hope if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling, and I'll see you all soon.